was born in Vienna, Austria, and I was a sick child. I went to school with 7 a year later, and then I was hit with the other slap, and I couldn't understand. I couldn't repeat. I could understand. I could comprehend, but I couldn't repeat what I was taught. So, and tests is all about repetition, especially 40 years ago. It's all about repetition, and I couldn't repeat. I was dyslexic, and people knew that I was dyslexic, and they said, yeah. But at that time, that was like, they called me basically, you're not fit. I mean, it's like saying, saying one word for everybody, saying, oh, you're retarded, basically. So you just don't understand. So you're actually not good fitting for our system that we call the monopoly system. You couldn't play monopoly system, therefore you are a bad human.
People always say that motivation doesn't last. Well, so is bathing. That is why we recommend it daily. When Michael was a child, he suffered a lot of challenges. He was a sick child, he was dyslexic, and suffered from dysgraphia. At a point, he felt he couldn't fit in. But all this did not stop him. He went on to author 5 books, produced with Robert Evans, and became a City Arts Commissioner. Welcome to another inspiring episode of Podcast with SHEILA, the podcast that is spreading positivity around the world by sharing inspiring life experiences. Today's guest, Michaell Magrutsche, is an Austrian-Californian multimedia artist and a man with many hats. An outside-the-box thinker who has resolved the paradox why 95% of the world's artists exist around the poverty level, but without creativity, where will the world be? In this episode, we will be discussing all this and more. Hello, Michaell, and welcome to Podcast with SHEILA.
Thank you, SHEILA. I appreciate you allowing me on and giving me a canvas to paint.
It's an honor to host you. Quite surprisingly, My dad is also Michaell. Well, my late dad is also Michaell, but his is with 1 L. Yours happens to be with 2 L's. Yeah.
Two L, yeah.
So I believe you're going to have a great time here today on this platform. I believe I've given you a good introduction, and I'd like us to just kick off straight away. So let's talk a little bit let's talk in depth about your childhood challenges and how you were able to use the challenges that came your way to become who you are today.
Mm-hmm. As you said, I was born in Vienna, Austria, and I was a sick child. I went to school with 7 a year later, and then I was hit with the other slap, and I couldn't understand. I couldn't repeat. I could understand. I could comprehend, but I couldn't repeat what I was taught. So, and tests is all about repetition, especially 40 years ago. It's all about repetition, and I couldn't repeat. I was dyslexic, and people knew that I was dyslexic, and they said, yeah. But at that time, that was like, they called me basically, you're not fit. I mean, it's like saying, saying one word for everybody, saying, oh, you're retarded, basically. So you just don't understand. So you're actually not good fitting for our system that we call the monopoly system. You couldn't play monopoly system, therefore you are a bad human. Yeah. And that's, so many people suffer from that, and it took me 50 years to try to push against the wall and hit my head against the wall and trying to fit in, and because that's DNA driven. I'm conscious of this now, but I wasn't conscious. At that time, you're not conscious, you're not aware. And that's the problem, because you are driven by DNA to be inclusive, that and human social animal, and we are still part of nature. But in nature, you are valuable because you exist. Like the animal, the giraffe, the ant, and the elephant they're not better or worse. They're just valuable because they exist.
Yeah.
And in systems we created that it's system value or system relevance, and then because we're so adaptable, we help systems work. But we believed the monopoly game. We believed that game. I'm not a good person because I'm sick. I am a different gender, a different race, a different. I'm not good enough because I'm all that.
Yeah.
Which is completely bullshit. It's completely insane.
Yeah.
And the insanity of this whole thing is that now the system cannot function anymore because they're so limited.
Yeah.
Because human are such a wonderful, limitless thing, right?
Yeah.
And so the system figure out, okay, now we have to systemically handle racism, handle gender difference, handle sexuality. It's not going to work. The system created the whole crap, and now it wants to create a system making again money with fixing that.
Yeah.
And it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Humans have to talk to each other like you and I right now.
Yeah.
We can't go through, okay, let me talk to my representative to talk to you. That doesn't work.
Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't. And I think that we keep reproducing our kind, if I'm saying it right, because my little girl, 6 years old in year 2, came home one day and is telling me, oh, we're having a conversation, and she mentioned somebody's name, and I say, who is that? Oh, the brown girl in my class. Oh, the Caucasian. Oh, the black girl in my class. And I'm telling her that we are all one. Children don't know the difference until adults start putting things in their heads. It's just like what you're saying. So we program our children as they come up to be like us, because as little as they are, I don't talk like that to them, so they didn't know that. But all of a sudden, I'm hearing them talk like that, and I see where it's coming from. Obviously, not from my home, but then from outside, she's beginning to see difference.
From system again.
Yeah,
system.
Yeah, exactly. When I've not taught her that, and that really makes our life difficult, as it is as human beings everywhere around the world. It's difficult, and I think the only way forward is for us as adults to start changing our way of thinking to be able to impact the little ones as they grow up, and probably from there we'll be able to make a change, hopefully, because at the point where things are, it will take each and everyone's effort, if I'm right from what you're saying.
Yeah, the thing is, though, it's awareness, right? I mean, you and I are at an age where we say, I don't look at you as a woman. I don't look at you as a black woman. I don't look at me as a white. Yeah. We are humans.
Yeah, exactly.
We are part of each other.
Exactly.
You are part of me. I'm part of you, right? And that's the beautiful thing of podcasts, right?
Exactly.
Because you learn that it's about humans. It's not about systems.
Exactly.
And it's the awareness. But today, attention, I did yesterday a talk about attention. Attention is the highest in systems. In our monopoly game that we're playing, attention is the highest value. So if you have a lot of friends, according to a system, of followers or visitors or likes, you get money automatically. You don't even need to do anything. If this episode would have millions of followers, they would knock on your door, on my door, can we give you money?
Yeah, exactly.
And that's crazy, because attention is making us crazy. Because if I want to say, hey Sheila, hey, so you were thinking about something or writing something down, and I say, oh, look at me. You cannot do your job, and I cannot do my job, because it's about attention. It's not about a conversation.
Yeah.
And that makes us crazy. And when the little ones, like you said, get always distracted, always attention, always this, you need to be this and this and this. You can't just be out and play. You need to be ballet, horse riding, tennis, everything.
Exactly.
And so to be part of the whole which you're driven to be.
Yeah.
See, it's like the way to get to the tribe is to do all those system things.
Yeah.
And that's you're driven. It's not like people say, oh, you're addicted to the cell phone. No, That's your drive to be part of the whole.
Yeah.
And that's why you're on the cell phone. You're not on the cell phone, and then it's taken advantage of by companies and stuff to keep you hooked.
Exactly.
And tell you it's good to be on the phone,
Yeah.
right? It says officially it's bad to be on the phone.
Yeah.
But while you're using the apps, it's good. It says it rewards you. You know. So we need to be aware of that. We need to be. Any system has other values than other humans.
Exactly.
And we need to say it's a game, a board game like Monopoly that we created. We can't submit to that. We are bigger than this. Human and nature is number one in wisdom, in knowledge, in everything. We can't even figure out how water comes up a tree. Science, you know?
Yeah.
So, science cannot figure out how it goes. She cannot replicate how the tree takes water and brings it into the leaves against gravity.
Yeah.
So, what else do they want to know?
Yeah, it's difficult the way things are now, the way that the world has turned out to be, and all of that. You know, even at my age, I remember that when we were growing up, there was community. People had a social life, which we don't see anymore these days. Like you said, there's ballet. Once you pick the child from school, she has ballet. You go in, you come back tired, homework. They don't even have the laxity of time to meet other children in the community and bond and make friends. All of that has become a luxury now.
It's a luxury.
Yeah, it is. And yesterday I saw a video on the internet, and this woman was saying when she was younger, you could not even talk to your mom about my boyfriend. Oh, my boyfriend left me and I have a heart attack. You can't do that because the morals was over there. But now she's saying now you call your daughter and she's not picking up. Finally, when she picks up, I have a heartbreak. My boyfriend just left. We can talk about things like these so openly and not even be worried. Oh, I'm talking to my mom about my boyfriend. I'm not allowed to have a boyfriend at this age. You know, morals have fallen. So has the computer age is just changed too many things for us, and I think it's gradually affecting every one of us. But we have to take a step back. Each one of us reflect and know that it's good to advance, but sometimes we have to go slow and watch it and know which ones are good and then which ones aren't.
But are we advancing? You know, is the human potential getting up, or is the systems getting stronger and we repeat history? That's the question. You know, we're not advancing.
Yeah, no.
Technology, having a faster computer doesn't mean anything. You know, having a better phone doesn't mean anything for humans, right?
Yeah.
Because, and you know that when you die, and you know that when you get sick.
Yeah.
Because all technology, you know, doesn't help you if you don't find the right doctor or that human that helps you transition to another life, you know, to a thing. You don't know that. You're just oblivious. We deny death. Death is a part of life.
It is.
And we deny that completely, you know. And there's the lie, these system lies that we have to be aware of. It should be everyday sunshine. And if it's not, we can sell you a Ferrari, a pill, or get you a face job, you know?
Yeah.
Or get your clothes or whatever. And then it is, and so let's say you're buying all this stuff.
Yeah.
And then what does the system say? Always think about it. It says there's something inherently wrong with you.
Yeah.
Because the lie is it should be sunny every day. But it is not sunny every day, because for no living being, when you are a living being, by your existence, you are challenged.
Exactly.
That's what makes you be alive.
Yeah.
That makes your spirit alive. You're challenged. You not struggle. You don't have to struggle and submit and sacrifice. But because you are a living being, there's no living being on this planet that isn't challenged. Yeah. Every bacteria, every tree, everything.
Exactly.
But the funny, and we use that to adapt, like nature. We are like nature.
Yeah.
But what is the system telling you? No, it should be great. You have a lot of money, you're happy. You're buying a lot of cars, you're happy. You're doing this, you're happy. And that's the lie. And the other lie is because you can do something. This is the other lie.
Yeah.
then I should do the same. No, we are all unique. We are all unique because let's say I'm Elon Musk. Doesn't mean everybody has to become Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It just shows us our limitlessness in the system. These guys are super system navigators, and they're very strong in this. And it's possible. It shows us our possibility. It doesn't mean everybody has to become that.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah. Exactly. Oh, I like that. I like that. Let's move on. What is your driving force in life?
My spirit, I think, because there's a lot of people that went through stuff like me and they are not alive anymore.
Yeah.
You know? So I believe that is not something that, and I'm not want to go into spiritual explanation, but I think it's just an awareness that I have. If I wouldn't have that spirit, I wouldn't survive till now. You know, I wouldn't be aware of what my life was and what my life is. And I think that's what drives me, essentially.
Yeah.
And then obviously and that probably has something also to do with spirit, the discovery, the awareness, to it's like a drug, you know? Every moment in my life is about getting clearer, getting more aware of my existence.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm always in the moment. I'm trying to be always in the moment because there's so much to get in a moment. Like being with you. I mean, this answer I never thought about, you know, but you asked me a question. You know?
Wow. Wow. Why do you believe that 95% of the world's artists exist around the poverty level?
I think it's 97 even.
97.
I know it because I know it. I know thousands of artists, and I'm in the arts since I'm a little child, and what I think is also, I think that this is a percentage that I was looking for artists because I could never. It saved my life. Art saved my life. You know, I couldn't communicate through systems. So the only way in systems, because art is also a system, it's also about the product. It's always about the product. It's not about, you know, not the process.
Yeah.
But I felt I could listen to this music. I could paint. I could create, and all my wisdom that I have, because I don't have a lot of education, is done by creating art. It's the awareness of wisdom and people. And in art, it's different. It's not like a CEO in a company. It's like, let's say that two people have a lead in a play. Yeah, they have the lead. But if the lighting guy and everybody else doesn't work, and the costumes and everything, it's not going to work. It's always the whole. It's always more. So art drives you always in the whole. And it doesn't matter, oh my God, you're different. I'm acting with all women. That wouldn't be a problem, you know, in art. But it is a problem in that, or, you know, it's not diverse. It needs to be more than. It has nothing to do with whatever it is, and it is that product. And I think it's, and this is why it saved my life. And I felt like a part of the humanity that I couldn't fit through systems. And that helped me. And I couldn't believe when I saw these quotes. 95%, 97% of artists are on the poverty level around the world. It's not just in the Western world, around the world.
Around the world.
And I said, and then I was thinking, wow, the highest form of creation, everything is created in this world. All the companies, all the systems are created. How can the purest system, where it's not about a context, I don't have to create an iPhone, the poorest form of creativity, art, can be that everybody's in poverty. Something must be wrong.
Yeah.
And that's why I wrote my last book, Smart of Art, to separate the art creation from the art product. The art product is like every product, but the power is really in the creation. As you know, creating this podcast, it's in the creation. It's not about how many listeners and likes you have. It is about the power that you and I have right now. You know? And that's what I think it's the blindness that systems always screwed this up, or we allowed it to screw up because we created the systems, that we allowed to screw systems to use art like if the system of society doesn't say You're an artist. You're not an artist.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know? And I realized that when I was 30, because I looked at all my jobs. I said, I don't need this system to tell me I'm an artist.
Yeah.
All my jobs say I'm an artist, and I feel alive when I do art.
Yeah.
So.
Wow, I resonate with you on so many levels, because I've been an artist from birth. Yeah. I've been an artist through my primary school, my secondary school, my uni. I was an artist, and I'm out and I operate as an artist. I love art. I love colors. I love to play with colors. It keeps me alive. And I think that art, like you said, is therapeutic, and I think I've said it on so many platforms I've found myself, and it works for people I've come into contact with. And I'm talking now on behalf of arts and craft, which are kind of related. So people I've found I've come into contact with who do craft, and we tend to play around with colors and all that. Art has been able to heal them to a point, which I'll not like to go in depth with that. But like you're saying, all around the world, everywhere, when people say they are artists, they are downplayed. Am I saying it right? Or they are not giving the kind of value you give to someone else.
It's a hobby.
Exactly. They say
it's a hobby. It's a hobby. It is not such. It has no look. Except the product.
Yeah.
Art has. First of all, system can never understand art.
Yeah.
Will never understand art. There's no system in the world, because art represents humanity. So art always drives you to humanity.
Yeah.
Go to any opening in England. Go to any art opening. Every race, every gender, every sexuality, rich, poor, everybody congregates. Nobody looks at the art.
Yeah.
And everybody is just, because the art is so magical. It is that energy. You are in the exhibition, and Charles Saatchi wrote an article about that. He said, I always have to go after an opening. I have to go back to the gallery to look at the art.
Yeah.
Because you don't. It's such an environment. It's so magical that humans feel like humans in that.
Yeah.
And that's why it is so. And I think it's all the experience of art. And as you know, we say that it's a low art when you do crafts. No, people, it's a human superpower.
Yeah.
That connects you with your being, with the limitlessness of your human being. Because what is the art project? What is the painting? What is the music?
Yeah.
It's a conversation between you and between the physical you and the non-physical you.
Exactly.
And the product is the conversation that you're having. The product is the painting, the lyric, the poem, the theater. It's just the result of that. It's just the physical manifestation of that conversation.
Yeah.
Which is magical. Imagine this. You're thinking about non-physical and physical, and you have this conversation, and what comes out is art. And that's why I think art is so magical, but because people feel it, they connect with it.
Yeah.
This is where we're all connected, you know?
Yeah, like you said, you don't want to go too much spiritual, but then I think that the world was created out of art, because God should be the perfect artist to be able to give us a world that we have as good as this, you know?
Yes.
So yeah, of course, but I don't want to go too much into spiritual. I remember when I was growing up, and I'd always wanted to be an artist, and when I came out of the uni, as an artist with a first class honors, and I was excited. My dad was excited. He was showing me off to everybody. And my brother said, if you get a first class honors in arts, he doesn't think is anything for somebody to make noise about. Rather, you should get a first class in statistics. Then we can talk a lot about it. And I remember at that time, what I told him was, what you can do, I cannot do. And what I can do, you cannot do.
You cannot. Exactly.
If I put you in an art class, you would probably be an F student, which means you cannot be perfect at art. Likewise, if you put me in a statistics class, I'll probably be an F. I may also not be an F. If you're not creative, you know, creativity is something we cannot learn. Do you know that? You have to be born a creator to be able to become creative. people try to learn art, but they don't get it as much as, because I meet people all the time. I teach people craft. I teach people how to craft. And when I do things, they tell me, oh, what, you do it as if it's so easy. You do it easily. And you see, I see people struggle to do one simple thing that I think this is very simple. The person should be able to just put it together and get. But they struggle at it because they weren't born creatively. If I'm putting it right, they weren't born to be artistic or art people. But I can learn to become a doctor. I can learn to become a nurse. I can learn to become an architect, whatever. But somebody cannot learn to become an artist. You have to be born with it. And that is the difference. And I think it's something we miss as human beings. And then we downplay people in the art field, in the creative field. And then we say, oh, why would you go and do art? When somebody says, I'm going to the university, oh, what are you going to study? Art. And then, oh, okay. But let the person say, I'm going to study science. Or oh, wow, congratulations. You see, it's the way we look at things, which is gradually becoming the norm for people as art is. But something else is something to be valued. That is, how do you think we can turn this around as art people? Because I believe it has to start with us to the world.
Absolutely. I always say we can't ask the system to fix. That's like asking the system to fix racism or gender. They can't. Humans have to do it themselves.
Exactly.
And humans have to, and this is why I make people aware. Hey, the art world that you think art world is like a supermarket for art products. It's not about art. The power of art is in understanding what happens when you create art.
Yeah.
What happens to you, and that's why I did my podcast. It's free. It's 20 seconds. It's just, and every artist should just look at it, at that Smart of Art podcast, where you just have a quote that makes you aware. It's all about creation. It's not about the product. It's not saying Basquiat is the best artist. It's how, what happens when you create, what it does to humanity, how it affects humanity. Like, when you meet at the museum, that everybody, feels comfortable, but doesn't even look at the art. And that it brings us all together always. So when you are in an art event, it always brings us together. So. And I think that's the awareness. Once we are aware, you don't need 3 steps. You don't need to study something. You're just aware, and you will do what you do.
Yeah.
It's just once you're aware, once I'm aware, I'm a man, I will change in a way that I'm aware that I'm a man. I mean, I don't have to learn anything, and there's 3 steps to be a man. A human is just fluid. There's no steps to be a woman. There's no steps to be a black woman. There's no steps to be whatever. There's no steps for that.
Exactly.
We're just humans, and nobody can be the norm. Nobody can be, because we're all different. Science, the system of science, confirmed. There's no DNA that is the same. So we cannot be. Why you're not normal? Why you're not, a good scientist? If I can be a scientist, I told you this, the second lie. If I be a scientist, you can. And that's not true. That is not true.
That's not true.
So we all have our unique. Life is, because there's no purpose of life. It's discovering what your essence is represented in the physical.
Exactly.
That's what is your essence, SHEILA? What is SHEILA's essence represent into the physical? And I can actually send you that. I created because the voice of an artist, right? The voice, the energy that is physically manifestation of your essence. And I call that in 2015 I started a class. It's called the Self-Aware Art Artist, and I have made a question catalog where you can, for all the artists in you, all the creatives, even the humans, they can go by those questions to learn more about themselves and why they, for example, like green. Why they like to always have round little things. Why they only like abstract art, or only, and it has all these questions, 50 questions. So it's long, but you will get an awareness about yourself. That I cannot see. I cannot make you say, "Oh, SHEILA, you are that." But only you can do that.
Exactly.
And we can add that to the episode if you want, that PDF, then people can download it,
Great. That would be great. I would love to have it if you send it over to me. But I want us to talk about your achievements from this journey.
The achievements is, I think, self-acceptance. I told you, you said it. I was worked with Robert Evans. I was City Arts Commission and all this stuff. Right, fifth book. But that is. I had a podcast with 120. This is nothing. It's the awareness and the self-acceptance and the recognition of being in the moment and milking the moment instead of thinking, what's my goal? What is the past? The recognition of that. How beautiful the world is. How seeing beauty in the discarded, seeing beauty in everything. It's just, and that's a reconditioning of awareness. When you get aware, you recondition that everything is beautiful. And I think that's what my achievement is, the awareness, and that's why I'm guest on your show.
Exactly.
Because I'm an awareness and creativity educator,
If you had one word to say to our audience, just one word in all of this, what would that be? Awareness. Great. Is there anything else you'd like to say to our audience as we wrap up?
If you can compartmentalize what is a system stress and what is your own stress, if you can compartmentalize that, okay, I'm now anxious because I'm afraid I'm too late to work. I'm now anxious I can't pay my bills. Those are all systems issues that you were conditioned to take that as life and death. It's not like your loved one broke his leg. That's a human stress. But you're not going to die from the human stress to help this person. But you will die from the stress that systems inflict on you. Look at our world, If you just can compartmentalize that and say the highest form for a living being, for wisdom and awareness, is nature and other human beings. Systems are human creation. And you cannot, if you say with your craft, you create a doll, and all of a sudden you can't ask the doll, so what shall I do tonight? What should I wear? You are the creator. You cannot submit to a creation.
Exactly.
And what the base blindness is, we have submitted to a brand, a city, a country, which we have created, or our ancestors have created. Systems are here to serve us. To make us to create more human potential, like you and I do right now. This is human potential because awareness makes the human potential, and this gets you then the wisdom.
Wow, brilliant. I believe that we've been able to talk a lot about on today's episode, particularly that don't let the system break you. Seriously, there's a lot going on in the world, and we want to say in summary that take a break, reflect, and think of your next step. Don't allow the system to keep you down, but rather make the right decisions to be able to pull through, because you deserve to go higher and you deserve to become a better person than you are today. Would like to say a massive thank you, Michaell, for coming on Podcast with SHEILA today. If you've been listening in, great. If you've been listening in, this is season 2, episode 73 of our podcast series, where we bring seasoned guests with inspiring real life stories to share with us. Do not miss out on all these lovely experiences. Subscribe and be notified when a new episode is released. Whilst at it, please drop us a rating. We have a video presentation of this episode on our YouTube channel. Just search for Podcast with SHEILA on YouTube and you'll find us. Our prayer for you this week is that you persevere despite the challenges life throws at us. See you at the top. Until we meet again, have a brilliant week.